Friday. It is now 6:30 on this July 21st. I'm Caitlin Heck here with Frederick Price and meteorologist Alex Forbes. Another hot day ahead. Relief would be nice, just a little bit.
And we're going to get some, but we're also going to get storms probably along with it.
Always a balance.
Yes, tomorrow morning I think is going to be the time for that. We're looking live down at the Georgia National Fairgrounds this morning. You can see some low clouds there. Across central Georgia, we got 74 in Macon, Warner Robins, 77 in Cochran. It is still 81 in Vidalia. It's just crazy. They did not get down into the 70s through the overnight. 79 in Cordele and in Rochelle. So the dew points, we were talking about it earlier. So if you're in Gordon, Wrightsville, Sandersville, Sparta, Milledgeville, Thomaston, it doesn't feel as humid as it has the past several mornings. But if you're down to the south, it certainly does. And Warner Robins, even the distance from Macon to Warner Robins, you see that difference. 74 in Warner Robins, 75 in Unadilla, and 77 in America. So heat advisory in effect today. Feels like 105 plus at times. In fact, probably through a majority of the afternoon, to be honest with you. And we are dry across central Georgia, but you look up towards the north here, we're running into some storms. This is now between Athens and Madison. Really falling apart as it moves down to the south, but I still think we can get some rain into Hancock County, Washington County before the morning is over. So today headed to 98, feels like 105 plus, that level 2 threat in place. We're going to talk about it all coming up here in just a moment.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. Well, this morning the GBI is investigating after a deputy shot a man during a chase last night.
Now, the sheriff's office says it happened around 11:30 on Mumford Road. A deputy tried to pull over 53-year-old Anthony Foster for an equipment violation. He refused to stop, and deputies followed him to the intersection of Mumford Road and K Street. Foster backed into a patrol cruiser, then accelerated towards another deputy. A deputy then shot Foster. He went to a hospital and is expected to be okay. Foster now faces charges for driving with a suspended license, driving under the influence of alcohol, reckless driving, driving without a license, and equipment violations. The vehicle he drove had no active registration or valid insurance. Well, a mother and her teenage son are dead after getting hit by a train in Wilcox County. The Wilcox County Sheriff Robert Rogers says it happened just before noon on Highway 159 near Double Run Road. Deputies found the train blocking the intersection and a Kia off the highway. Rogers said they found 17-year-old Dallas Dozier and his mother, 34-year-old Brandy Drennan, dead inside the car. Rogers says the 17-year-old was driving. The Georgia Department of Public Safety says the crossing arms were lowered before the train came. Rogers says witnesses saw the Kia go across the crossing arms.
Well, you won't be paying higher property taxes this year in Macon thanks to a Bibb school board where board members had some tough decisions to make.
Now, the bill is based on mills. One mill is $1 for every 1,000 of your property value. In Georgia, only 40 cents of each dollar is taxed.
So the Board of Education this evening voted for a full rollback of our millage rate. The other two options on the table were no rollback at all and a partial rollback.
Now, most homeowners in Bibb County will pay the same in property taxes this year. They could have raised the rate, meaning virtually every homeowner would pay more. They also considered keeping it the same, leading to bill increases and potential staffing cuts.
Superintendent Dan Sims says the decision could lead to eventual school closures and staffing cuts. The board also discussed the possibility of future school consolidation. Right now, it's too early to know which schools may close or how many, but Sims says they need to figure out how to make cuts on spending.
We're taking an across-the-board look starting this school year to continue to look at ways we can decrease costs while hoping in the future that we can increase revenues.
Well, Sims says they want to use future money to become more competitive with nearby districts and bring in top talents to teach.
Well, since board members lowered the tax rate, the decision is final.
Well, Houston County voters will head to the polls in November to decide if they'll renew the penny sales tax. Houston's 2018 special local option sales tax, or SPLOTS, expires this year. It's paying for projects like the Aquatic Center being built on Cohen Walker Road and the Houston County Courthouse expansion on Perry Highway. This week on Central Georgia Focus, County Commissioner Chair Dan Perdue is joined by the mayor of Warner Robins, Centerville, and Perry. They'll talk about meeting critical community needs and some special projects. Houston County estimates if the 2024 SPLOST gets approved, it will raise about $200 million over the next 6 years.
We've tried to very conservatively predict revenue and try to very realistically predict project costs with this SPLOST. And so we think we're at a good point. Again, if there's extra revenue, that allows us to possibly go out and beef up those projects a little bit, accomplish a little bit more than we thought we would accomplish. But we're very excited. We think $200 million is a very achievable goal.
I'll learn more about the 2024 Houston County SPLOST. Watch Central Georgia Focus tomorrow at noon and streaming right now on the 13 WMAZ Plus app on Roku and Amazon.
Well, Bibb and Houston County High School students are sharpening their skills in electrical engineering and coding this summer. It's part of an internship between the school districts and Robins Air Force Base.
We have computer scientists in our room, we have electrical engineers, we have computer engineers, software engineers, and mechanical engineers.
The internship is for high school students and some college students. It's hosted by the 402nd Software Engineering Group. Over 3 summers, students learn coding and social skills and soft skills like how to present in front of a group and work as a team in a professional setting. The goal is to give students the knowledge they need to hit the ground running in college and hopefully make their way to Robins Air Force Base, where they need young people with these skill sets.
Because I was like a little bit STEM focused, I didn't fit in that well with the rest of my peers. I am interested in coming back to work for Robins Air Force Base.
Now, if you want your child to be part of the internship next summer, have them talk to their school's guidance counselor for more details.
6:36, the school year is coming up fast, and starting this year, state standardized tests will count even less for high school students. The State Board of Education voted this week to allow these tests to account for as little as 10% of a student's grade in a course. Now, previously, it had to be at least 20% of their grade. Right now, districts have end-of-course exams in algebra, American literature and composition, biology, and U.S. history. Well, country star Jason Aldean facing criticism over his latest music video. CMT pulled the "Try That in a Small Town" video after critics say it had racist undertones and promoted violence. The music video showed crime, flag burning, and protesters fighting law enforcement. The song lyrics suggested none of that could happen in a small town without consequences. The video was also shot in front of a county courthouse in Tennessee, where a black teen was lynched in 1927 and race riots happened in 1946.
You can look at that both positively and negatively, and you have to be able to embrace all of it to really understand the space with its fullest scope. And if that impacts you in a certain way because of your social or political leanings, then that's to be expected.
Well, Aldean, who was from Macon, says the song refers to the community he grew up in, where neighbors took care of each other regardless of race.
All right, well, things will get competitive in the kitchen this Sunday as the Great Macon Baking Week kicks off. One Macon bakery is making mouth-watering macarons for the contest. Oh Honey Bakery is one of 16 eateries competing. They're entering their pistachio-flavored Italian macarons with brown butter buttercream and a white chocolate ganache center. You can pair them with a delicious honeybee latte or maybe an iced chai and enjoy them while relaxing in the beautifully decorated sitting area. Baker and owner Adriana Horton says they are so excited for everyone to try their macaroons and see what they have to offer.
We're just so excited to participate. July is such a hard month for business in Macon, and so we're just really excited to have the opportunity to show the community what we're best at.
And to find out more about Oh Honey, the bake-off, and how to submit your votes, just head on over to 13WMAZ.com.
Our producers know we have not had time to eat breakfast, yet they're throwing all this video and food at our face. Well, how about this? Macon's Pro restaurant kept their eyes on the fries during the annual French fry fight, and they came out on top. The restaurant serves up specialty cocktails in small electric plates. They won for their crab rangoon duck fat fries that featured Pearl's house-made lump crab rangoon dip, a sweet chili sauce, and green onions. The restaurant is located on 1st Street and now, of course, has bragging rights in the Super Spud Trophy. Well, don't forget, if you're looking to try a new restaurant or bar, I know I am, you can check out all kinds of local places across Central Georgia. Just head to our Central Georgia Eats page. You'll find the link at the top of 13WMAZ.com.
Oh, the sun is staying hot, hot, hot. So we'll introduce you to a Central Georgia man who keeps his employees safe while they work outdoors. And we'll let you know what to look out for when it comes to your kids in the heat. Plus,
whether it's food or school supplies, Central Georgia is full of generous people. We'll fill you in on all sorts of giveaways kicking off today and continuing this weekend. 6:39 on a Friday morning. Yeah, it's just so hard to believe that school is right around the corner. Kids have 1 week off and then they're back in the classroom. I mean, where has the summer gone?
I really feel like we were just talking about like graduations and starting the summer, and here we are.
And the irony is, it feels like summer is just getting started because we're just now starting to see regularly 100+ feels like temperatures outside. Today, not going to be an exception. Heat advisories in effect from the low country of South Carolina all the way over towards Austin and Dallas this morning. A couple excessive heat warnings sprinkled in there as well, including parts of Alabama, Mississippi, southern Arkansas, into northern Louisiana. Also now southeast Georgia. So the line, actually it's the Ocmulgee River south of McRae and Vidalia. That is the line between the National Weather Service office in Peachtree City and Jacksonville. They have a bit of a different criteria for an excessive heat warning down in Jacksonville, which is why they have that and we don't. But still, nonetheless, Feels like 105 plus today across central Georgia. We are quiet at the moment on our radar picture, but you look up towards Atlanta, running into some heavy downpours, we'll call them now. That's Greene County, not too far away from that Hancock County line, so heads up in Hancock County, likely going to run into some rain here in the next hour or so. But I'm also watching this, a fairly strong storm there. That's going to be on the Cobb-Cherokee County line between Canton and Marietta. That's moving down into Atlanta, but in the general direction of central Georgia here over the next little bit. We've got a fantastic sunrise right now. Temperatures, they're still in the 70s in many spots. In fact, Vidalia still at 81 degrees. They did not get into the 70s through the overnight hours. 74 in Macon, 71 in Forsyth, 78 in Unadilla. We do technically have a level 2 threat for storms today. I'm not too sold on it. In fact, I think tomorrow morning is actually going to be the better chance to see storms. So here we go on Future View. You can see it maybe a shower or two over the next hour or so up in Hancock County. Otherwise, we're just going to be looking at a couple pop-up showers later in the day. And then we get to tomorrow morning looking for isolated showers about 6 a.m. But I do think, if you were watching earlier, we still have a chance of seeing a more organized storm system moving from west to east through Saturday late morning into the early afternoon. Heavy rainfall will be possible, maybe some gusty winds right along with that. Then some scattered showers for Saturday evening, and on into Sunday. We're going to do much of the same. There's Sunday morning there, then into Sunday afternoon, just some splash and dash stuff. But these feels like temperatures, they are going to be hot today, 100 plus easily. And in fact, like yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of these numbers to go even higher than what you see here. If you do happen to catch a shower, it will help those numbers. And then once we get into tomorrow, with the chance of the early morning rain, it's going to keep them down a bit. We're not going to be feeling like 100 at 11 a.m. Like we might today. But keeping an eye on the tropics, this area disturbed weather has a 30% chance of development over the next 7 days. Not too concerned about it, but something to look at in the Weather Center. 98 the high today. It feels like 105 plus. We've got that level 2 threat out there. And the Macon Bacon back tonight at Luther Williams Field. First pitch is at 7 p.m. It is going to be a hot night out there at the Skillet. In fact, you might be sizzling. See what I did there, Frederick? 95 at 6 p.m., 90 at 8 p.m., 84 at 10 p.m. Here's your 7-day forecast. We've got a cool down for the weekend. It's break out the parka, a high of only 90 on Saturday, 91 on Sunday, before we are right back to the mid-90s for Monday and Tuesday, upper 90s for the middle part of the week.